You know what it is, man. It's your boy DJ Damage, man. Back again, episode 7, Damage Control Podcast. We got no other. Amadeus. What's good? What's good, brother? What's going on with you?
Peace, peace. Hey, 7 is one of my favorite numbers, man. So
Right.
the timing was right. The
Yeah.
timing was right. 7 meaning the number of completion. With God doing His amazing work that He's done. Creating us kings. You know what I mean? So I love being number 7, man. But what's the good word, King?
Of course. That's fire. Working, man. You know what I'm saying? How was the quarantine for you, bro? How was everything? This whole COVID thing. How was that for you? How'd you adapt?
Different, man. I never seen anything or witnessed anything like this in life. I'm 39 years old, so it's definitely different. I think it kind of caught everybody off guard. Everything shut down, and I know you can relate to it, being a DJ and spinning and touring with artists, stuff like that. So, no shows, no tours. My residency in Las Vegas, shut down at Trey's nightclub.
Right.
We kind of thought it was a moment where everybody would have to stop for a little bit, and we got back to work. I remember getting that email, from Dre's, like, hey, we're going to shut down for the, maybe a week or two, figure out what's going on. And next thing you know, man, like, we 3 months later, and I honestly don't see us getting back on stage, whether it's with Trey Songz or whether it's with, me at Dre's nightclub, till probably 2021, to be realistic. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Of course, the kids are home, so I've been doing a lot of homeschooling and stuff like that. I never knew I was a teacher. I teach music, of course, but never knew I would be tapping into social studies and science and reading and English.
Right.
So that was different. And, my queen working from home, I'm working from home. So different, man. But again, it kind of shows you, what's real, and I never second guess my relationship. I never second guess my family, my kids. So when you're in one place with a person for a long amount of time, you get to really see if it's really real.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel,
Absolutely.
I feel sorry for others.
Yeah. Well, I see it as a blessing in a sense, because a lot of stuff started turning positive for me, if that makes sense. A lot more money. With us DJs, when you got other stuff going on besides the clubs, the artists still need to get heard. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, it gave us an opportunity to tap into other stuff, or if we already tapped into, really, really tap in, if that makes sense, with playlists and things of that nature, But I really wanted to start this off by saying rest in peace to AD the General.
Man.
She's the reason why me and you even know each other.
Rest in peace, AD the General.
For sure.
Facts. I remember me coming down to Florida.
You're right. In Tampa. Yep. It was for the music conference. I remember.
Yes, sir.
Definitely, man. Definitely. She was a beautiful person, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
She knew how to talk. She definitely knew how to talk. You know what I'm saying? And she knew how to network. She networked her ass off.
Right.
So
and she knew how to bring people together. You know what I mean? She knew how to bring people together. She created platforms, for up and coming artists and new artists to be seen and heard and to do their thing. And like you said, she loved connecting the dots and connecting people that was coming up with people that were on, or people that can possibly help, others get into what they love to do. You know what I mean? She introduced us, you know what I'm saying? So that was definitely who she was. She's tremendously and absolutely missed. You know what I mean? We don't get a lot of those amazing people and gems in the music game, So when you meet a real one and someone that's sincere and that's really for the people and really about helping people, as a blessing. And even though we don't have her here in person, her spirit and her energy will live on, through each and every single one of us, that she's been a blessing to, man. So definitely salute AD General. Rest in peace. I know she's looking down upon us. Probably like, man, it's a lot going on, man. I'm glad I ain't there with all this chaos and craziness that's going on in the world, So she's at peace. We're stuck here trying to figure it out,
Mm-hmm. How did you guys meet?
I feel like it was online, and then definitely way before Instagram, Instagram, and I'm feeling like it was through Twitter,
Okay.
maybe even date back to MySpace. Could have been in the same room, at a showcase or something like that. And I think that's what it was. I think we was in the room. I think I was judging something, and I think she kind of pulled up to me and was like, introduced herself.
Okay.
Let me know that she does, events and showcases and stuff, and want to be a part of that. And I think we connected that way, exchanged contact information,
Okay.
and the rest was history, man. Very professional. Love the way she put her events together, organized, well organized, great talent, on the stage. So yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that's how we met.
That's what it is. That's what it is for sure. And again, rest in peace to AD, man. Um,
Absolutely, rest in peace.
I was looking at your discography, man, and you got records that date back to early 2000s. Um, tell me how that was like coming up in the producer world at that time. With, like everything being different. There's no streaming. There's no really internet like
Right.
that. You had to really be talented. You had to, you know what I'm saying? Not very many made it. You feel what I'm saying? And you're one of those that's still heard of to this day, especially with different things that you're doing. So tell me how that was like back then.
Right. For me, I didn't really understand that it could be a career. So to me, it was just me doing what I love to do. And I'm a musician. I'm a drummer first. I learned in school in 4th grade, played drums all throughout, school from 4th grade to 12th grade. Of course, played in the church pretty much all my life.
Okay.
Always loved hip hop though, so the hip hop influence was always there. And I made a decision to become a record producer at the age of about 14, 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest was history, man. And the difference, like you said, you kind of nailed it, man. Wasn't no internet, wasn't no online, wasn't no social media, wasn't no streams. It was cassette tapes, and then eventually turned into CDs.
Right.
But everything you had to do was in person. You had to really get out there, stand in front of studios, stand in front of record labels, hoping to see an artist, hoping to see a manager, hoping to see an A&R that you can pass your cassette tape or CD to, to be heard. And that was, what the vibes was like. Yeah, that's what it was. Mm-hmm. Equipment cost a pretty good penny. Unlike today where you can get a software and have, damn near close to 5,000 sounds. I bought the MPC 2000 and that don't come with no sound. You know what I mean? You got to create your sounds. You have to sample drums and, and then add the live keyboards or the live sound modules to that, midied up, to go into, the MPC. And again, it's a total difference between, like you said, me coming up, 19, 20 years ago versus, now 2020 where technology is here, internet is here, social media is here, so many different ways and avenues for people to become, who they want to become, to network, by following somebody, typing, reaching out, sending them a message, sending them an email, which is something I didn't have, man. So I'm grateful for where it's at today. And I obviously definitely take advantage of what we have today in the technology world and internet and social media. But I have no regrets. I love coming from the era I've come from. Taught me a different type of hustle, different type of approach to different things.
Yeah.
And now the internet and the new wave is just an add-on to what I already had.
Right. You see, like, it's funny because, like, you tell the artists nowadays, especially the younger cats and the newer artists trying to get on, and they got to stand in front of a studio, having to go out there and hustle their music to get heard. They look at you crazy, like, what? You know what I'm saying? It's like, you have no idea, man. And I feel, and I know you feel just like I do. You feel old as hell even saying it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you say you were a drummer, which is funny because a producer that I grew up knowing was A-Rap Music as well. He was in the same city I'm from.
Yes, sir.
The drummer as well. I remember
his
shows. Dude, he would hit the drums, do backflips on the stage, do a backflip back to the drums and get right back to it. Like, oh my God. In 4th grade, bro.
Right.
That kid was crazy, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I got a lot of respect for producers and drummers, man. Like, I've always been a fan of just watching that, like, live. You know what I mean?
It's nothing like it, man.
Oh, no. So how was it like touring with Trey Songz? How'd that even come about? How'd you meet Trey Songz?
So I met Trey before the whole touring thing and everything, the record that we did came about. I met him in Atlanta.
Okay.
Kind of hung out a little bit in Atlanta in a few clubs, and then I would say like a month or two later, ended up in a studio with him. So I was working on the Mike Jones album, and we heard it. He had a record that he wanted an R&B artist on, right?
Mhm.
And we threw a few ideas out at that time. Like Omarion was real heavy, Tyrese, Chris Brown, Trey Songz, some of Tyrese. That was definitely budget.
R&B had a wave, like a heavy wave.
Yeah, heavy. So he went with Trey Songz. He felt that the record that we had, fit his tone, fit his voice, and they were label mates at the time.
Okay.
Which made a lot of sense from the business side of things because it allowed the clearance and Trey to be on that song a lot easier, being that they were both under the Warner Brother record label. So I remember Trey coming down to the studio in Houston. We all went down to Houston to get the record done. It was a drum set in the corner, and I kind of mentioned to Trey and Mike, drums, and they both laughed like, play drums, and I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, where you think these beats came from, man? Like drums, like kind of go hand in hand. And they chuckled a little bit. Finished the record. I mentioned to Trey. In that moment, I was like, listen, man, the music you making. This is Trey first album, Trey. So I'm like, music you making real soulful.
Just gotta make it, Trey.
I'm like, one day you're gonna need a drummer, man, and you're gonna need a band behind you. And I'm like, when you do, reach out. Fast forward a year later, got a call from his manager at the time, Delonte Murphy. Like, yo, man, you ready to put the band together for Trey? And I was like, nope. He's like, what do you mean, no? And I'm like, I don't know how to put together no band. I just play drums. I just kind of like threw it out there. You say stuff to people don't really take you up on what you say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he's like, nah, once you tell Trey something, he's gonna hold you to it. And you told him that.
Really?
And he's like, I want to get Amadeus to put the band together. And it was a dope moment because I never put a band together. He's never had a band. So it's the perfect opportunity for us to both learn, what it takes for me to put it together and for him to have one, man. And that was 13 years ago, which is crazy to say. And we've toured almost the entire world together, man. Opened up for Jay-Z on the Blueprint 3 tour, opened up for Usher on the OMG tour. We had Big Sean open up for us on the Anticipation tour. How Elvana and Miguel opened up for us on the Passion, Plane, and Pleasure tour. Now we know those artists. We went to Australia, Japan, Africa, all of Europe, all of the United States. So it's crazy how, I spoke something into existence, put it out there. He gave me the opportunity to be the music director. And like I said, that was 13 years ago, man.
That's crazy, man. That's so crazy. Like you were just saying how like some artists open up for certain artists and look where they're at now. Like I remember back a couple years ago, or more than a couple years ago, back when Lupe Fiasco came out here. Because I'm in Ocala, Florida. It's like by Gainesville, close to like where the University of Florida is. And Drake opened up for him.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And Drake opened up for him. I met them both. But it was like Drake, this was Drake's his first mixtape time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And
wow.
Yeah, they ate that up, bro. They ate that up, and now look at them now. Like shout out to both of them. You know what I'm saying? But it'd be like more
absolutely
like for him.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah, right. That's what's up though. So you basically seen Trey Songz come up. Basically, he's had some huge records, a huge wave. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, one of them R&B artists that's still relevant now. Tell me some experiences, man. Like tell me it's like some on the road experiences with him and stuff like that, like a crazy experience or something.
I mean, you always get a bunch of those. I mean, I think my job as a music director can be challenging in many ways. I remember, just from a hustle standpoint, like I think we was just getting off tour on the Jay-Z tour with the Blueprint 3 tour, right? We was in Las Vegas. Our last show was in Las Vegas, and I remember them booking him to do MTV Unplugged, right? So I had to fly from Vegas back to New York, right? Straight from a show.
Sheesh.
Yeah, sure. Fly right into New York to go straight to rehearsals to do MTV. Still recording.
Yo, yo.
You know what I mean?
I lost you.
Just crazy moments, man.
I lost you for a
And
little
I
bit.
pray that was really crazy.
Yo,
Can you hear me?
I lost you for a little bit, bro. I lost.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Go right ahead. Go back to what we were saying, bro. I'm sorry.
Right. So yeah. So I remember, doing the last stop on a Jay-Z tour. We was in Las Vegas and having to fly back home the next day in order to go into rehearsals to do MTV Unplugged. And I remember we was on the road for at least a month and a half. I was extremely exhausted, had nothing left. And then Trey got that phone call to do that performance live, and of course we couldn't turn it down, man. So I had to kind of use whatever energy that I had left to really put that together, man. And it was a huge challenge. So that, from a business and a hustle standpoint, was something crazy we experienced. I remember a girl getting into a fight over the drumsticks that I gave her after a show. Because after each and every show, I would give out a set of my drumsticks that I performed and played with. And I remember the girl coming up to me in another city saying, "Remember them drumsticks you gave me?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah, I got into a fight and I actually got jumped, for those drumsticks." And I just thought that was the craziest thing ever. Like, being, a girl with somebody would do harm to someone just basically off of drumsticks that I played the Trey Songz show to. So yeah, that's definitely something crazy that I experienced, man. But you see a lot of, people chasing tour buses, people, driving from one city to the other city just to follow Trey where he's going. People trying to find out where, he's staying at the hotel room and pull up, just all kind of stuff, man. When people are fans and they love you, man, they'll do whatever it takes, to get to you, to see you, to get an autograph, to get a picture. But you love it. You got to love it. It's get a little creepy every now and then, but you love it.
Right. I can imagine. And I seen you also produce for Chris Brown heavy. You've been working with him for a few years, right? Tell me about that.
Yes. Yeah, real dope, man. I think I would say Chris and I've been working for the last 8 going on 9 years. Real dope vibe. I can see we've done a lot of different things together. I produced Take a Risk on the Indigo album. We produced 9 songs on the Heartbreak on the Full Moon album. Produced a Davies featuring Chris Brown Perfect record.
That was your first thing? That was your first gold single?
Produced the record. Yeah. So that's definitely a big moment right there for me.
Not only his, but yours, right?
Right. Yeah, mine. Yeah, I'm talking about me. Yeah. I mean, definitely for Dave East as well. For the first record, he's put out a lot of music, and this is the first record that he achieved that gold status on. So definitely big look for Chris. I mean, for Dave, and for myself. Chris has a bunch of these. You know what I mean? What else? He's a dope writer. He's a dope writer. Well, so he wrote the record that I produced for Jennifer Lopez, Same Girl. He wrote a record that I produced for Justin Bieber, Christmas Eve. That's on Justin Bieber's Under the Mistletoe Christmas album. So we've been putting in a lot of work for a lot of years. A few records with him and Tyga. That kind of set everything off. So yeah, I'm definitely extremely grateful for Chris, for him allowing me the opportunity to be seen and heard, and just taking my gift as a producer and writing them hits to it, man, and putting it out there to the world. So shout out to Breezy.
Right. That's what's up, though, man. Definitely. You've worked with 2 R&B powerhouses, man. Like, I don't think it can get any better than that. You know what I'm saying? And I know you've had some experiences with Chris too. But another thing is you're also a producer for Bad Boy. How'd you link up with?
Yes, sir. How did that happen, man? Well, I growing up, it was always a dream of mine to become a bad hitman producer. I just everything that Puff did, everything that he's created, his style, his energy, his aura, his vibe, his energy. So it was always a dream for me, man. And so for that dream to come true was pretty dope. When I got to Bad Boy, I had already produced for over 50 artists, so I kind of came to them, with a resume that I built up the years on my own. And people would ask, well, why would you, get down with a team? Why would you get down even if you was doing your own thing? And I kind of compared it to like LeBron, coming out of high school and having a chance to, to go to the NBA. And that's what I looked at. Like, I look Puff as as Phil, you know what I'm saying? You got a bunch of players. You got, he's big as MJ. You got 112. You got all these amazing artists and acts, and also producers, Mario Wanan, Stevie J, D-Dot, Ron Lawrence, Carlos Brody, like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Sean T and LV. And if you're.
So basically, you're also a producer for Bad Boy. How did that come about?
Right. So, growing up, man, I was always influenced and motivated by Puff and everything that he built with the whole Bad Boy empire. It was a dream of mine to actually become a Bad Boy hitman producer.
Right.
So when the opportunity presented itself, it was a dream come true to me, man. And I kind of compare it to as, LeBron James going to the NBA, where it's like, well, why would you, go to Bad Boy when you was already popping? So, when I came to Bad Boy, I had already produced for over 50 artists.
Right.
So I had built a resume, already really had a name for myself. But again, you want to play for the best team, man. You want to be a part of, an incredibly strong movement. Puff gave us Biggie, rest in peace. Puff gave us 112, Faith, Mario Winans, you know what I'm saying? Total, G-Dep, Black Rob, you know what I'm saying? The list goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
So, to be able to be a part of the same team, and to be viewed as someone that's talented enough to be on that team was a blessing for me. And, and I'm one of the youngins of the team and of the family. I got on deck when Puff was doing Making the Band and Day 26 and Danny DeCane and, all of those artists.
You were on some of those episodes too, weren't you, of Making the Band?
Yeah. So, I was, a few little debuts on Making the Band, but then when Puff was putting a band together for his live show when he was making Last Train to Paris, and he made the show Making His Band, which was the live instruments and the musicians. He had me and as a music director and a part of the team selecting those musicians that will go on to tour with him, for the Last Train of Paris album. So I was a part of that. I did a lot of scoring, for a lot of his shows. He had Star Maker back then. He had worked for Diddy. So I was doing a lot of scoring and for that. For those that are tuned in that don't know what scoring is, basically creating the music that plays underneath, some of the scenes and stuff like that, segues into other scenes, the music that's underneath.
For ESPN, right, as well?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of music, a lot of that for ESPN, for Sports Center, highlight reels. You see LeBron dunking, you're seeing him, Melo taking the shot, OBJ catching that, that crazy catch on the Cowboys, the music that's playing beneath. I create a lot of that. And that kind of turned into me creating and producing the ESPN First Take theme song, which still plays to this day, featuring Wale and Stolly. Yeah, man. So definitely a monumental moment for me, being a sports fan, a sports lover.
Absolutely.
That show comes on a few times a day, every day. Anybody that loves anything that have anything to do with sports, tunes into that show. So to be a part of that movement is epic.
You hear a whole different tune though. You hear cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you've had a lot of experiences on the road. You know what I'm saying? I know I know you've toured with Puff as well and stuff like that. You as like a fan of music, right? What's one of your favorite experiences? You're like, oh, I can't that you can say I made it. You know what I'm saying? Like you as a fan of music, you hit a milestone. You're like, well, damn, like me even being a fan of music, this is crazy that I've done this. Like, what's that? Besides the ESPN thing and
Yeah, I think when I look back at my entire catalog, that kind of allows me to really put things into perspective and really sit back and be like, wow, I've really done a lot. I've really accomplished a lot. And as you can see, my wall art in the back, with a lot of the records that's on the wall, and that's one side. There's a whole other side that reflect a lot of work and hard work and dedication. So those are always, reminders to me, of moments and monumental moments that I've created, working hard, putting a lot of energy and hard work throughout the 19 years that I've been doing this. So I think, all of them play a part. There's definitely moments, like you said, that just be like, wow, I can't believe like ESPN First Take, theme song, probably, producing 9 songs on Chris Brown's album. we view him as, damn near the Michael Jackson of our time. You know what I'm saying? One of the greatest artists of our era and of our time. So to have that many amount of songs on one album is crazy. And then right after that, did the same thing, with the Younger May album, having 8 songs on Her Story to Make It. So it just goes to show you.
For it, didn't you?
Huh?
You made Petty Wap for Younger May, didn't you?
Yeah, but made Petty Wap for Younger May. Shout out to Velocity Music. We did that together. And that's another record that's special to me because it's the second single of mine, to go gold, man. So
yeah.
And I always really speak on that because it took me 19 years to do that. Oftentimes people think a lot of things happen overnight, and of course there's a lot of plaques that's on my wall, but these, and I'm not taking anything away from them, of course, but these are the albums that I produced on that went gold and that went platinum. So for an actual song and single to go gold, it's a big step. But again, it took me 19 years to do that, man. So everybody that's tuned in, that's watching this, whether you're a producer, an artist, a songwriter, a creative person, you're going for your masters, you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, it takes time. It takes time. It takes blood, sweat, and tears, and and for you to create, do a lot of hard work. And then when the time is right, you'll have that moment where you achieve that success that you've been working so hard towards, man. So, shout out to everybody that's out there hustling, working hard, continuing to believe in themselves no matter what. In due time, it all comes together. So I just wanted to, encourage everybody that's out there that's tuned in, watching us talk.
No, for real. That was actually my next question. What advice did you have for like an up-and-coming producer? Talk to me about Platinum Boy music.
In regards to advice, I think what allowed me to sustain and to remain relevant and be here 20 years later is I do what I love. I'm extremely passionate about it. Of course, it took me a few years to learn that this could be an actual career, and something that can provide for myself and my family. But before that, I did it because I loved it. Endless nights in the studio, hours and hours and hours in my studio, on my beat machine, making music. You know what I'm saying? Before
get them hours of sleep we didn't lost, man. If you don't get those back, bro.
Right. So and again, I didn't know nothing about making money. I didn't know nothing about making it a career. So I definitely want to encourage anybody that's going after being a producer, an artist, a musician. Most importantly, be passionate about it. It's the passion that'll keep you going. It's the passion that'll sustain you. The passion that'll allow you to not give up even when you want to, even when the politics come in, and people hate. People don't open doors and allow you in to be great. You know what I mean? Love and the passion for what you do will keep you going. So that, be yourself as a creative. Oftentimes you're always going to be inspired by, you're always going to be influenced by, me growing up, Puff was a big inspiration for me. Kanye West, Just Blaze, Dr. Dre, Rodney Jerkins. I can go on and on,
around all these people.
You know what I'm saying? But
not a lot of people are that lucky, bro.
Right. But I don't sound like them. You know what I'm saying? I don't sound like them. I have my own sound. I have my own style.
That's why
it's great. And it's great to be inspired by, but you don't want to turn into someone. You don't want to become someone else. The gift that you have is being you. There's only one you in the world.
Got you there, though. Being you is what got you there. Not because you sound like them. It's because you sound like you, and they like you.
Right.
So that's the advice I got for everybody. Just be you. I don't sound like any other DJ around. Why? Because you got to stick out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Talk to me about Platinum Boy music, though.
Platinum Boy music.
Your company, correct?
Yes, sir. I was sitting in the ASCAP offices. I'm an ASCAP writer. ASCAP, collects the publisher money that's out there. And I remember, I think it was 2000, 2002, 3, somewhere around the early 2000s. I was sitting in the office. I had to come up with a name for my publishing company. Really bad at names, to be honest. And I was sitting there and I was like, well, it was me at the beginning of my career as a producer. And I was like, I want every record that I produce to go platinum, and I'm a boy. And I just stuck Platinum and Boy together and created Platinum Boy. And that was, and still
good, man.
Simple, and that's the name of my publishing company. Now, the label, the name of my production company, which consists of myself and record producers and, like-minded individuals that love music and as passionate about creating music. And we've done a lot of amazing things throughout the years as a team. Basically, in other words, just created my own hitman. You know what I'm saying? Just follow the blueprint of Puff, follow the blueprint of Bad Boy, and created a team of producers that love and what they do and passionate about what they do and that are dope. And we come together and we make an amazing music, man. So That's Platinum Boy music for you.
That's fire, bro. That's what it is. That's what it is. And one thing I always love, man, is when seeing people come from the bottom up. You know what I'm saying? And on their own wave, doing their own thing, making their own name, and it just sticking. You know what I'm saying? Now you're a household name. You've been that for years, but you know what I mean?
Right.
You've done stuff that nobody else could say they've done. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that's what's up, bro. Definitely.
It's a blessing, man. It's a blessing.
Sure, brother. You know, and that's the point of me making this podcast is bringing people on to celebrate them. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, my brother.
And yeah, of course. And of course, you know, a lot of people that I've met through AD, I want to also bring them on here to celebrate her as well. You feel
Absolutely.
me?
And I love that, King.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro. That's why, bringing it back to what we were saying in the beginning. But yeah, man, it's definitely this journey, man, has been crazy, bro. You know, just I've met a lot of people along the way, and you know, I'm glad to have connection with you, and be able to build and stuff like that, man. So, what's coming up next? What you got coming for the people to know, man?
Man, I can't even tell you, man. To be honest and real and transparent, I mean, honestly, right now, my mission is to survive, is to remain healthy, remain, you know, in the right spirits and the right mental. You know, make sure that my family is good, my kids. You know, that's my main focus right now. We've seen a lot. We've seen a lot in the last 3 months. You know, we've seen a lot of people lose their lives, a lot of people lose loved ones. You know, and
Crazy,
you know, and again, like I said at the beginning of the interview, it's something that I've never seen before ever in my life, in my 39 years of living, man. So, you know, and like you said, I can agree with what you said earlier in the interview when you mentioned about how, you know, even though the COVID-19 brought a lot of pain, you know, and a lot of uncertainty to us, it also is a blessing as well. You know, I've connected with a lot of people. I was blessed to, you know, do a lot of IG lives, paying homage to a lot of my heroes and people that I admire and that I love. And you know, without the pandemic, honestly, I don't think that would have ever happened. I don't think I would have ever had the thought to do anything like that. You know,
I started this podcast, man, just sitting down, putting this together.
Right.
Me and my dog Music Speaks, we've talked about doing a podcast for years, but it just didn't make sense at the time.
Right.
And when you were able to sit down, that's why I say I feel like God gave everybody two months to just what's going on for the next 5-10 years. What do you?
Right.
Let me sit down and put it together now because I have nothing else to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I've been able to, you know, like you as an example of other guests I've had on the show, you know, it's giving me time to network with you guys and even just to bring you guys on here, you know?
Yeah, yes, sir.
I wouldn't even have thought of doing something like this if we were living normal life like we were.
We would have been too busy hustling. You know, we've been too busy doing what we're doing, working and doing what we're doing. But you know, God
tours, man, and an overseas tour that got put on.
Right. Yeah. Trust me, I can relate. I can relate, man. But everything happens for a reason, and I think, you know, I feel like when we get back to doing what we love to do, I feel like you know you're a brother. I can tell. Never took it for granted and always appreciate it, right? But it's going to be a different energy, you know, when we return. It's going to be a different love, a different appreciation. You know what I mean?
So do we really call it return or start new? That's how it's going to feel like.
I like that.
I'm saying, because like what are we returning to? It's not the same. Nobody. It's just like, you know, when like you see a couple fight, like let's just say a couple's at your house, right? And you hear them arguing outside or something like that. They come back in the house and they act like everything's okay, you know.
Right.
That's how it is with everything now. It's just like the world's so angry with each other and with everything going on right now that what are we returning to?
It's true.
That's dead. You know.
It's true.
So, you know,
I like that, man.
That's just how I see it, bro. You know, and definitely lost a lot of loved ones. I lost family members. You know, we lost friends of ours that we both mutual friends that we both know. Fred the Godson. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yeah, rest in peace, Fred.
His last Florida show before he passed.
Right.
And so it's crazy, bro. You know.
We gotta. You know,
take nothing for granted, bro. You gotta live every day like it's your last, bro. Right now, and just work like it's your last, bro.
That's true. Know? That's true, man. That's true, King.
Amadeus, bro. I appreciate you coming on here, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Taking your time. I know you're a busy man, and you know, despite everything going on, you know, with the family too as well. I appreciate you taking some time and coming on here, bro.
Nah, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. I love the fact that, you know, you and your partner, you know, just got into it and I finally got to do what you guys always wanted to do, man. Timing is everything. I wish it was a different, you know, thing. that inspired us to do what we
Yeah.
do. But it's this thing called life, man, and we don't know what it'll hand us. But we just got to be prepared for it, and we just got to remain prayerful and remain strong and remain together in love, man, and
Right.
that, get us through those hard times, man. Salute to you and your partner. Thank you
Appreciate
both
it.
for allowing me to be on this platform, and I know this is a great conversation. I know whoever is blessed to watch it and experience it will definitely be motivated and inspired by it, my brother. So thank you so much for having me on here. I appreciate you.
Brother. Shout out your IG, tell them, let them know where they can find you, your besides your, your hits and stuff like that, where they can find some of your artists and stuff like that.
Right. Instagram, Amadeus, AMADEUS, PBM. PBM standing for Platinum Boy Music. So that's, again, on Instagram, Amadeus, PBM. Also have Platinum Boy Music on Instagram. On Twitter, for those Twitter users, as producer, Amadeus spelled AMADEUS. And I'm pretty good. Hit me on those platforms. I'm pretty decent with DMs. Be patient. Give me some time. I'm not a label. I'm not an A&R. I'm not a manager. So I'm not like looking to sign any artists. I'm not, listening to music all day. I'm working. I'm a music producer creating. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
But every now and then, I give my time to just check somebody out, to give somebody some feedback, just to show love, because that's what we do. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But sometimes it can become overwhelming, man. So I'm just saying, be patient if you reach out. I'll definitely do my best to get to you. A lot of information comes through, a lot of emails, a lot of DMs, and it's all love, man. So much love. If you ever supported anything I've done, appreciated any record I've produced, been to any show that I performed at, whether it's Trey Songz Experience or whether it's Dre's nightclub throughout the world, thank you. I appreciate you. And if you're going, working hard towards your dreams, just like we are, definitely keep going, remain prayerful, keep believing in yourself, keep working hard, keep dedicating that time, that space, that energy, to you, to your craft, to what you love to do. And hopefully we'll see you, where we are. I wouldn't say we are at the top, because we got a lot of more work to do, man, but we're definitely living a great life that we worked so hard for, man. So hopefully, we'll see you on that level, if God has it be.
Yes, sir. Well, again, I'm appreciate you coming on here, my brother. Bless up.
No doubt.
Family,
Blessing,
man.
King. Be safe down there where you are, my brother. Be well,
Yes,
and looking forward. Blessings, King.
Bless up, brother.
All right, my brother.